Good evening. I am excited because I have a list of a couple more things to do as I'm getting ready to wrap up my 2019 recording sessions. I ended up doing a lot of other additional matters, and during my cleaning of the apartment, I am very grateful to make this video on ding, 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 my bag of shoes that I have collected pretty much since I at least lived here. Some of them. And my closet was filled on the floor with shoes, like on top of each other. And a larger portion than not were shoes that I wanted to get rid of, but I needed backup shoes. And weird as it may seem, when I do music videos or go to the store, or a lot of times walking around in the parking lots here in Dayton, my shoes get pretty much destroyed. I'm not as upset right now because I am not sitting in my studio working on music day in, day out from the time I wake up until I need a nap. I go back and forth. And when that happens and you start realizing that you need new shoes, it can be very difficult at times to reach for a pair of shoes, especially that you like a lot, and go. Sometimes it's very difficult to take time because it's a lot of mental working in the studio. Then you have a lot of mental if you're surfing for something. And I don't like to buy things that I don't like. I try to get more of what I do like, and that can be frustrating if you can't find shoes that you do like, or I had a lot of problems where you order shoes and supposedly they're the size that you want, and then you find out when they get here they're either too big in certain areas of the shoe or they're way too tight. So then you have to return the items. And even though the process of it is not too bad when you're shopping on like Amazon, for instance, however, it can be frustrating when you're trying to hold fast to the things that you desire to do most. Commonly, I would say I don't have time to keep returning items. I don't have the patience to keep dealing with things like that when I want to go do things that are more psychologically therapeutic, like go for a bike ride, go for a drive, go get some sun, okay? A lot of times when I work in the studio, I'll stick to my basic chores, whether that's go to the laundromat, whether it's making myself something to eat throughout the day, grocery shopping, any doctor's appointments that I may have, if you will. I've been going back and forth to Logan on occasion, and I'm very thankful because it's kind of really clearing up. Things are looking great. So there's a lot of different things that I really like to stay on, including when my apartment gets really dirty. It irritates me. I can keep it straightened up for a long time, and then all of a sudden it seems like one day I'll walk out here and I'll look at the floor and it's filthy. Starting, I think it was last year, I started to clean my apartment. My studio, I lifted up the carpet, I did all under there, I did my ceilings, I did it in the closets, in the tracks, the whole way around. Areas within the apartment that I have never cleaned before and realized how gross it was while I was in this cleaning binge. So I got that cleaned, and cleaning my bathroom, stuff like that. But that can be overwhelming, and at times, especially if you're continuously working on music, my music project that I was. And I wanted to do as much as I could up until I was about 50, which I am. And in the process of doing everything, starting in 2012, I started doing videos, and the few videos that I did in sharing my 50-song project turned into a couple acoustic music videos, which turned into my first album, a couple videos, into more videos, into more. And in between working on my music and doing all the other things that I do, I have time to kind of be entertained, I guess you would say, since I don't necessarily live in an environment that is conducive for my peace of mind, if you would, for relaxation and stuff. I have here in the apartment, so I usually subscribe to different channels on YouTube and I watch a few of those. Or I'll scan through and see if there's anything on the home page, or recently I've been looking at the video shorts. They entertain me a little bit before I go to sleep. So thank you all those people out there that make creative video shorts. It's nice to scan through, laugh a little bit, and wowed as somebody's entertaining you and stuff. Very animated, some of them are. I decided that I was going to clean my whole apartment. That includes scrubbing the floor on my knees with a brush, and getting it as crystal clean as I could get it. My ceiling, the walls, everything, as kind of like part of a wrap-up to my recording project that I started in 2019. And I'm still not done because I've been doing it in chunks while I'm doing these other things that I'm doing, okay? And one of the things that was really, really, really irritating me is I was holding on to shoes and boots because I was hoping to do certain projects, but then those projects, some of them, didn't come along, or I finally had the opportunity to get new shoes, new boots, finally. It's more frustrating when I'm working on my project than I am. Like right now, I have a little bit more time to kind of run around and do some things. Though I'm not as frustrated at this present moment, that frustration builds up while you're working on your music and you can't find yourself nice shoes to wear with your clothing, or something you like that's attractive or feels good when you wear it, okay? Sometimes, if not a lot of times, I gotta grab something. I might not like it so much. Sometimes this happens and then I put them on, or they might not fit necessarily the greatest. They might not look the greatest, and I gotta take them, and that I gotta live with that as I'm going about my life because I don't have the time to keep looking. What ended up happening is I collected all my shoes and boots, and depending what mood I was in from the frustration and everything, I would grab them and wear them, and I am so grateful to throw them away. I just took my whole closet of shoes and anything that I was waiting, like I was going to hold it and use it maybe for music videos or something like that. I held on to them until this time when I was done wrapping everything up. I've been wanting to throw these away for a couple years. And I said if I don't use them by the time I'm done with this recording project, they are going in the dumpster. Every time I open up my door, there's just all these shoes piled on the bottom there, and they get really dirty and stuff from being outside and everything. And so what I did is the ones that I'm going to throw away, I put into a garbage bag. I have a huge garbage bag full of shoes to throw away. I haven't seen anything like that myself since I was like in the 70s or 80s. My mom used to collect shoes. Hers didn't appear to be nowhere near as dirty as mine. My closet floor was filthy. But I got it cleaned up, and all the other good shoes, I actually tried to salvage through some of them, and I gave them a bath. Okay? I scrubbed them. I took some of them to the laundromat afterwards, and I did the best I could to get them clean. And the ones that did not clean up, they're going as well. Some of them don't have the soles, and some of them the soles are lopsided, which happens a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of the shoes that I get, they're cheaper shoes. I don't know of good quality shoes. Can't afford them. I don't know if quality shoes wear like these shoes, but these shoes end up going like lopsided. And I got to get rid of them because there's no way I'm going to be walking around with lopsided soles like that. I wanted to make a video to share these shoes. The other ones, I got some new ones. And I had some new ones stored away that I did not wear for a while for whatever reason, and I was very grateful to have those that I could get them out and I could start to wear them then. But I got all my shoes in my closet clean. Everything's clean now. The ones that didn't clean up, here we go. I actually want to show the camera of my shoes because I want to take the opportunity to explain what I think about the shoe and shoe exchange. And my purses. I go through a lot of purses because I get inexpensive purses, and I might not be as delicate with the purse as a lot of people, and I carry some stuff with it once in a while, and I try to keep them a little bit smaller because I don't like a big purse for all kinds of reasons, and I don't really like to take that much stuff with me anyway when I go out. But this was one of my favorite purses that I got, but the store closed down. I went back there to buy another purse, and unfortunately they were closed down. It was right up the road from here. It just only lasted for a little while, though. That's the unfortunate. As you can see, it's all dirty and gross in there and everything. Because I take it with me when I go on my site locations and everything. And it's sometimes I come back and I'm like pretty filthy. Because you do a lot of stuff in the ground and you got all the goo shit. Anyway, this is one of my favorite purses. I like the colors. It's like two-tone. I don't usually use white. I've usually always used black because it goes with anything just about that I've worn. This was my first one like that, and I want to say goodbye to it today. I cannot wait to say adios. These boots, I get a lot of boots at Myers, and Myers usually has pretty decent ones. For a season of time, I kept checking and kept checking and kept checking, and they did not have boots for me my size, and usually they do. Anyway, I got these. I really like the boot. They're only a half a zipper. I took some pictures and I posted them on my Instagram because I really like the boots. But here's the thing, here's my relationship with these boots is usually I have a full zipper boot that goes all the way up to the top here on the side. And the reason I like that is because I tuck my jeans when I wear them. I tuck my jeans into my boot. When you have a portion of a zipper on the side, it makes it a little bit more difficult to get the jeans tucked in all the way. For me it does, especially if I'm in a hurry. And usually if I'm going somewhere, because I've been working on my music and stuff like that a lot in the studio, it's kind of frustrating for me. So I'm kind of like jumping around and get my boot on really quick. But eventually I got used to these because my boots are always opened up, full zipper, right? So I finally started to grab them here. And it helped me get the boot in, and then I just found a clever way to pull my jeans down. They were my favorite boot once I established a way to get my jeans inside the boot. I really like them. They were cute. I'm still living in the Joyce Meyer's teachings, use what you can get your hands on, okay, kind of thing. So I want to say goodbye to that. And these boots I had, I guess, even in Huber Heights. I also got them at Myers. And they were in my personal Lake of Fire video and a couple of the other videos, I guess Dayton, Ohio, USA. But look what happened. See how destroyed they are. There's no sole on this one. Do you see what happened here to all the black? See that? I pulled them out. I was trying to hold them until I Know video because I wore these boots in my first I Know video and I guess it was 2013. I want to wear what I would wear today, but I tried to wear some of the clothing and some of the jewelry and stuff that I wore then to help me feel psychologically connected to myself. Back then, like some people might say, like a bigger sibling kind of being a part of doing a video. And it's one of those testimonial conversations of things that I've learned in psychological connectivity to a point in time where you're at the same set location and you remember thoughts that were with you during those times that you were making it, whether it was pain or happiness, any emotion. The things that you endured and went through while you were doing it, and I felt really good to be able to be at that spot and to recognize a lot of the areas that I was either leaning against a tree or I was sitting and playing guitar or taking some photographs or what have you. But the boots didn't make it. They almost did, and then all of a sudden, like within the last year and a half, that's when I realized they're not going to make it. And so I did not use them, and I finally got to throw them away. I had one of these in the trunk of my car for probably a year. And I was thinking about, should I fix this so I can put it in and wear it for my music video and then I can throw them away? Or do I just get new ones, you know, because I don't want to ruin new clothing. It's kind of muddy down by the river sometimes, or dirty and stuff, or if your feet get wet, you know, that kind of like ruins your clothing sometimes. Anyway, that's why I ended up wearing these. And here's the thing with this. I don't know if you can see, I took some photographs, but if you look really close, you can see how the soles, I don't know if you can really see in there or not, but they're kind of like lopsided. Okay, so usually on the inside is what I would say. I don't know if it will show up better this way. You see that? So obviously I don't want to walk around like that. My mom, when she raised me, if she saw something like this, they had to go. You know, she didn't want me to have problems otherwise, you know, so she would get me new shoes, if you would. So that's what a lot of my boots, that's what always happens, you know. And to be quite honest with you, I think I'm learning reasons why that is happening, mainly on the inside, on the right foot. I got my other purse. I got this at Myers, and it was very unfortunate because I was in the process of working on my Ragtop album, and it didn't take long. This front part, let me see. This front part, the zipper would not stay closed. It would stay closed for a while, but then what would end up happening, especially when you're in a hurry, and you go to zip this one side, what would happen is this whole front would open up. And this is where I used to keep a couple of my CDs with, because sometimes, I don't do very many of them, but sometimes I would have a CD available, and if I met somebody, I would give one to somebody in hopes of being able to connect with people, or just as an offering, you know? Or I have like a little card or something with, instead of a business card, it becomes more like a personal card that I could give somebody a card. And, you know, if they want to, they can call or email me sometime, or check out my website, or whatever the deal is, you know. This here did not last that long. I think it only lasted, before that problem started to happen, I think it was like less than a month and a half or so, and I just didn't have the time to keep going back to stores and returning stuff, because when I'm in the studio, I'm recording, though I don't want to explain all of that right now, I don't have that much time to do what I would perceive as unnecessary things. So when I do have a day and I go somewhere, or a couple hours, and I go to grab something, I really hope to find something I'm looking for that I can use long term. And when I do, and I grab something, and then it's either broken or it doesn't last that long, it's very, very frustrating. Then I end up getting one of these cheap purses over at Walmart. And it's okay if you're in a hurry, maybe. But the truth of the matter is, now I'm carrying around something on a day-to-day basis that I don't really like. It's not really my personality. And I don't have time to go shopping. And most people know to get a quality purse, you're probably going to pay more money. Okay? And I'm trying to work it with a budget. So a lot of this here is budget issues. Okay? I am looking forward to going on endeavors and dealing with that, if you would, in the future. I'm making this video so it's not necessarily anything more than me sharing my frustrations of what I've been going through with just clothing alone, especially in a pinch. I got these boots on Amazon. The same thing happened here. You see that? Now this one you should be able to see better. It did not take that long before the soles were on the side. Okay, very, 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 very irritating. Here's the thing, I really loved these boots when I first got them, but they were too big. They're my size, but in the front, especially around the toe areas, like halfway of the foot front, it was a huge disappointment as far as how they fit. But this is one of those days that I realize I am not going to be able to keep returning things. And, going through that, if I want to get done with my recordings now, I don't have time for that. So when I order something and it's supposed to be the size I want, it should be the size I want. And I've realized a lot, especially over the last few years, how distant exact foot size is in our country when you go to purchase something. It can be very irritating. I learned, especially coming out and stuff, to find my size shoe alone is difficult because they stop at just one size most of the time before my size. But I did find a lot of places to go, and I got a lot of tips, and a lot of those tips really worked. And a lot of times it is Walmart, it is Myers, it is Amazon. So I get very lucky with that. And I do have shoes that I love from all the places. So it's not everything I buy, so just know that. But it does happen, and when you're constantly working on something or projects and you want to stay busy and active and doing the things, I do a few basic exercises. I try to do it daily. It might turn into only 3 times a week or something like that. And I do treadmill. I do bike riding. I love to go bike riding. But I don't get to do that too much because that's usually a whole day event for me to go till I get located on a bike trail somewhere. And then I go bike riding. I have a lot of fun, and I listen to my music, so I'm still kind of working on my music because I'm listening to the mix and I'm listening to the EQing, or if I did like a demo vocal or something. To me, that's one of my favorite times to examine my music and also enjoy my music and the scenery and everything is when I'm bike riding. I go sometimes for a few hours, I'll go for the day for the most part. And it gives me time, plus I'll blend it in with like my past albums that I've recorded. So I can see, is it anywhere close, my fixing the things that I would have wanted to fix in my first 2 albums versus this 3rd album, etc. And these things I got at Goodwill. And that's the one thing I used to like, and I still do. A lot of times when I go thrift store shopping, and I have time because I don't usually have a whole lot of time while I'm recording. When I'm in off recording season, I have more time, but I don't have a whole lot of time. But when I do, I love to browse through, and I kind of miss it sometimes because you never know what you're going to find, And I look throughout the whole store for usually clothing items. I always look for unique clothing items too. I love furry boots a lot, especially in the wintertime. And these were my favorite for only a little bit. They didn't last that long. The same thing happened. Check this out. I don't know if you can see. It's usually on the back heel. You see how crooked that is? So then it starts to walk lopsided for me. Now these are also, in my opinion, kind of inexpensive shoes, but they were like brand new. They were like brand new when I got the boots, and I really liked them a lot. And this here kind of sucks for me because I had a vision for my Cold Winter Storm music video. It's capturing more of the feeling of being in the cold. And I wanted to make it in the snow, like real snow. It takes time, and you got to be cautious because it would be very cold. It's one of those things that it could be difficult for me to pull off in a metro area if I can't find a place that I can park close enough, because you got to carry all the stuff out in the snow and everything, and by the time you might realize how cold you are, it could potentially possibly be too late, if you're parked too far away, okay? So these are things that I've learned as I went through life. Don't ask me how, and not right now anyway. So here's the thing, check this out. I wanted to wear these for Cold Winter Storm, and I obviously was going to dress very warm, and these are a little bit bigger in boot size, but that's just it. I could put a couple layers of socks on and stuff, and I was really, really looking forward to it because I'm working on my projects all the time, especially in the recording studio, and I love to record over the holidays and work in the studio and stuff. I think it's really cool. I have Christmas lights and stuff, and I like to go see the Christmas lights. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Even though I don't really like the cold that much, I do appreciate the holiday season a lot. I am getting rid of these because I held on to these ever since I moved here, and that was in 2014, and I never had the opportunity to make the video because I'm always working on stuff, and I don't necessarily have the waterproof equipment yet. So I need a waterproof camera and something to play the music that I could actually hear it outside that is waterproof. I've been looking at stuff. It's not like I don't know what to do, but I did not get the opportunity to do it, and because I am on a budget, I can't just go out and get the things that I would love to get and make things happen the way I would love to, I do the best I can with what I have. These boots I really liked a lot because of the inside. Look, it's all furry and stuff, and they're very warm. But they didn't last not even a year. I wore them for the winter pretty regularly, and they were just too big for my feet anyway. So I was just like, I could have returned them to Amazon, but till I go check in, and sometimes I get screwed with, then I have to pay a fee and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a free return, and I don't know. Sometimes you get confused or whatever. You end up going to these places. What ends up happening is then they end up charging you. Well, we got to charge you for that, and I'll say, but I thought it was free on Prime and stuff like that, and that ends up happening, and because of that, they have a fee or whatever. I can't be running all over the city looking for a place that will return these for free. By then, I would probably spend more, yes, in gasoline to do that. Not to mention, I don't have time to call Amazon and argue over the fact with some of the things, So what I mean is, if you purchase stuff online, it can be very frustrating, especially if you think that you're going to be able to return these items for free. And then somebody says, I'm going to have to charge you for that, okay? And you don't want to really get into an argument with the person, because where's that going? You know what I mean? And then I won't buy anything from Amazon for a long time, because if Amazon knew, I said that, and now this is my opportunity to say, if they really understood the people at Amazon, I don't buy very much because I'm poor, okay? But I will tell you what, right now, there are many times that I wanted to buy something and I kind of bit my lip. I don't have time to play the exchange game. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you get burned at one of these places trying to return your item and then they charge you anyway, you kind of are more hesitant about buying anything in the future. And if you do, it might be a long time before somebody finally decides to do it. We should have a plan and stick with it. No exceptions. My thankful hat, it got kind of like corroded here. I tried to wash it and it got like a bleachy look. And it's time for me to say goodbye to it now. Because anything that I perceive got even a little bit ruined when I was washing and stuff. I did a lot of hand washing. All this stuff, a large portion of it was hand washed. I decided I'm going to get rid of it if it gets ruined in any way. That's it. My dress that I think I got at the Lebanon Plaza at the Bon Ton, I had it on when I came out here at least by 2010. I made it as a gift wrapping for a friend, which I'm going to share a little bit later on, maybe if I have time here on this camera. But I kind of cut it up and I used it to wrap a special gift for somebody who didn't want the gift anyway. The kind of people that I ended up crossing paths with while I was homeless. I was really excited to receive this from my one next door neighbor who unfortunately passed away not so long ago. But it was right around 2018, and it sat up there on my dresser all the way up until I did my arts and crafts. I tried to make a bracelet one time, and the bracelet broke like within like 3 weeks or something that I had it on. So I was like, I'm going to hold on to it. What could I make with it? And I ended up doing something with my feather project that I did. Even though she is not physically on this earth, I want to say thank you, Elaine, for the sweet gift at Christmas in 2018. I was in her apartment and she asked me if I would want this. And I said, yes. It touched my heart. I thought that was sweet. There's a big difference from when I tried to give somebody a gift and they wouldn't accept it. Did you ever experience that? Did you ever try to give somebody a gift that you put some time into and then they flatly refuse to receive it from you? They deny it. That kind of sucks, you know. Why would people within the Christian community preach so much about connecting with people instead of connecting with God and then getting busy on their own endeavors while they have a heartbeat yet? Instead of wasting time, you know, and a lot of worthless relationships, so to speak. My bike helmet is going away. I wore this. I got it at the Goodwill. I didn't really want to put it on my head because it could mess up my hair. I have a couple pictures online, and I remember I didn't want to wear a bike helmet. I was one of those people, I don't ride with a bike helmet until I came out here. Since I'm on the bike trail, I decided I would get one, and I actually liked it. But I can't use it right now, so I'm like, I've been looking at some other ones, and guess what? There was one on Amazon I wanted to buy, but here's the thing. I didn't want to get screwed, so I didn't buy it. Because if it doesn't fit, then I have to return it, and I have to take time away from the studio. That's number one. Number two, if I take it there and they say they'll return it for free because I'm a Prime member, then they might screw me and say you're going to have to pay for it anyway. You know, so I never got the helmet. That one's going away now. Actually, I tried to clean this one, and like the clear coat, much like my car, has coming off. And some of the inside, the inserts, it came off. So, and it kind of like gets that black stuff in your hair and stuff. So I don't want to put it on right now. Okay, here's my other Lake of Fire boot. It has its sole on. I like the soles down here. They have like little hearts. I don't know if you can actually see them. And I don't know what else it says on there. I guess it's like the brand name, Life Energy, and something else. But anyway, I always thought that was cool. Because then when you step in like the snow, and you leave a footprint or in the dirt, it kind of, you know, leaves the cute little hearts and stuff in it. Oh, let's see. These boots I never really liked, but I did wear them. I like kind of the material, but they don't stay up like your calf or whatever towards your knee. So they kind of like always fall down, but they are a full zipper. See that? So I like the material and everything. It's just the way that they feel. They kind of like always fall down and stuff. And here's another heel thing. See that? I don't know if the camera shows it or not. I took some pictures, of course. Here we go. I took some pieces off of my boots to use for different projects or like jewelry or something like that, you know, that I might make in the future. But these I used to wear, and I think I wore them in It's Hard to Be an Escort, the New Girl in Town video. I don't really remember without like seeing the video, but anyway, I think these were in it, and I wore these a lot. They are finally going away. I got them from Susie Jet. Thank you, Susie. They're going bye-byes now. The soles are coming off here. See that? So this is the other one. Ta-da! And this is my soles. See that? They're all ripped ripped up. They're destroyed. I wore them many, many times I went out. Actually, these heels lasted very good, you know. So I'm surprised. For whatever reason, that's just from, you know, I guess the time in the closet. You know, they were in there for quite a while. I don't really wear heels that much anymore, like this, because I don't really go anywhere except for, you know, usually I'm running around doing chores or something. And check this out. I had these for a while. I got them when I was in Hollywood for my first time. I think it was on Hollywood Boulevard where we got them. My Pennsylvania daddy got them for me. And I used to wear them when I was an adult entertainer. A lot. I kept them clean though. Okay, just so you know. And they're finally going into the dumpster. Here's the other one. You see these little white diamonds here? Like, sort of? I always wish that they were real. Okay? A little bit out of my price range. Isn't that something? I've been thinking about that a lot, you know. It's funny, and it's almost insulting to the entire Christian community when you say you can't afford to have real diamonds. When you realize how many diamonds are in the world just sitting in glass. When you realize that God owns everything. Do you understand? We're abusive to each other, aren't we? Very much so. Okay? Most of the mega churches, instead of teaching you and ministering you into genuine life, into your brain, they will have you minister to others that are not compatible, and their needs are an illusion in a lot of cases. And now, I'm the person who's going to tell the Christian community in our country to clean up the fucking goddamn homeless matter. Show us God's love. Don't judge them on how they got there. Chances are it's because of your asinine fucking conversations. Here's my other boot. And you know what really sucked? When I was in the studio, when it would rain out here, okay, there's all this oil, gasoline, and I guess transmission fluid, and who knows what, a lot of spit, a lot of beer, a lot of urine. It fucking goddamn runs down the freaking center of the drive that I live in, and I had to walk across to get into my car. And you know what? Look at that. If you're not careful, your feet will get wet. You can tell that they are not that old. However, it didn't take long before we sprung a leak, and my feet used to get saturated wet. And because I live on the 3rd floor and I don't want to turn around and come back up and I have an appointment I have to make, I gotta get going. So I crank on my heater on the floor to dry my feet out. Isn't that nice? These I got from Susie Jett. They were in my In Dayton, Ohio video. And I forget exactly why. I think one of the soles on the inside, I think they're kind of coming apart and stuff. So they're finally going bye-bye. I always like the white diamond-y kind of appearance. It's very attractive to me. I love white diamonds. I've only seen a couple real ones, or so they say they are. I used to talk to jewelers, you know, even as a teenager. When I used to go to the Lebanon Valley Mall, that was a big thing to hang out and walk around and stuff, and network and talk to different people within the area, go to the arcade and stuff. And I used to talk to some of the jewelers that had shops there and stuff, or worked there, and you know, and I would ask them questions about diamonds and things. I think I got one more yet. Here's the other one. In Dayton, Ohio. See? Now, these obviously could be glued down, but yucky. You see that? I'm just not interested at this time for shoe repair, as I try to stay extremely busy on the dominancy of what I desire to do each day. One of my frustrations that I'm very grateful to share, I'm finally getting to throw away all these shoes and all these boots. I faintly remember having a pair of Harley Davidson boots at some point in my life. That was a big thing, biker boots. Here, since I'm done recording, I noticed I'm not going through as many shoes at the present moment. So isn't that weird? It was when I sat down and I started recording and everything, all of a sudden I'm realizing I need to get new shoes. I gotta get new boots. You know, I need new sneakers. You know, this stuff started to occur. Very frustrating to me. But anyway, we're good for now. I don't really like these sneakers. I was looking for some more aerodynamic and femme sneakers. So just know that this is what I'm talking about. Frustration. I could not find those sneakers. So I got these. And in my opinion, they're just not girly enough, okay? But they're supposed to be, okay? I guess they're like neutral. And I got these at Walmart. See? See how the soles get dirty and stuff from the parking lot? Most of that is from stepping on Dayton, Ohio's grotesque streets and parking lots. You know, isn't that pathetic? Where I remember a season of time where the only time my feet got dirty is if I stepped off the sidewalk. You know, like into the grass or into the dirt. Out here, it's everywhere you step. I can't ever get out of my car without stepping in somebody's spit. A whole bunch of cigarettes that people put out, or people spill drinks, or people throw up. You know, you got oil stains, gas stains, you know, you name it. I would say Ohio, Dayton is probably one of the dirtiest, filthiest fucking goddamn parking lots in the world, in this country, that I have ever seen. In this country, probably in the world, you know. They do have street cleaners, okay? There used to be people with businesses with street cleaning vehicles, okay? I used to know some, you know? They used to have street cleaners. There's a lot of litter and garbage laying all over the place too, you know? A lot of glass, you know? A lot of things, you know? I had more flats in my car's tires living here than I did my whole entire life of driving prior. How pathetic is that? I want to show you something really quick. Talking about parking lots, we go from the shoes. Why are my shoes dirty like that? You should have seen how filthy my closet was. I'll tell you why, because everywhere I walk is freaking grotesque. Okay? If you don't believe me, I can take my camera and show you how it is grotesque. I wanted to save this because I want to throw this away too. In this bag is something that was stuck in my tire. It's like a piece of metal. Okay, check this out. You know, this does not happen too often. It looks like an arrowhead, doesn't it? See how sharp that is? It is a piece of metal. I turned around one day at a abandoned building. And here's the thing with our United States government and allowing the abandoned fucking buildings to just sit there after corporations or businesses are done with them. And then the properties just fucking sit there. And then people go by and smash windows and do all kinds of crazy stuff. They destroy the possessions that are left at these abandoned buildings. And then somebody like moi goes to turn around. I remember the day. There was glass all over the fucking road. There was metal all over the road. And I'm thinking to myself, this area is fucking filthy, okay? This fucking place is fucking governed fucking pathetically. I have evidence. I have the receipts. Call Walmart, okay? Check the computer out. I had more flat tires since I lived at this apartment than my whole life prior. I just had a screw pulled out of my freaking tire at Walmart. I used to either buy like 2 of them at one time, you get a good deal, you get the front or something, you get the back, or you get the whole set. I can't buy the whole set. Number 1, I'm poor. Number 2, there's no need for me to buy the whole set because I'm constantly replacing 1 tire at a time. And you know why it is? Because Ohio's fucking goddamn roads are fucking pathetic. Because there's glass everywhere. Because there's little objects like this. Somebody pulled a nail out of one of my tires just not so long ago. They just pulled a screw out of my tire not so long ago. But hey, Joel Osteen will tell you, don't be complaining about the things you don't like. Get busy focusing on the things you do fucking like. And I'd like to take this and jam it in his fucking ass. What do you think of that? It looks like an arrow, doesn't it? I have been getting my fucking ass kicked, literally. Everybody else's idea conjured all together in a fucking blender fucking sucks. Do you know what I came to the conclusion just not so long ago when I was watching a YouTube video and I heard an officer down talk another human being because supposedly this human being had broken laws and it is the officer's civil duty to apprehend the person? Let me tell you something. Those fuckheads in the United States government, world government, people government, sign papers for fucked up laws. They push for them. The idiots with the fucking badge goes out and hunts down the bad people. And what are bad people? People who ain't submitting to the fucking laws that they fucking drew up. Causing all kinds of stress and problems in everybody else's life. I don't know about anybody else. I've been trying to live as innocently and as peaceful as I can fucking be. I read the Bible 3.5 times to find out the government is a bunch of fucking assholes. Okay, Donald Trump wants to make fucking America great. America was never fucking great, you old fucking piece of shit. Were you asleep your whole life? America always sucked. You forced me to go to school. I didn't learn how to take care of myself. I didn't know what the fuck transgendered was. Do you know what it is? As everybody in the fucking Bible schools are arguing about it? It's psychology. It's called inward fucking identity. And you want to surrender to the truth. Because a heavenly human being is more attractive than a fucking goddamn worldly woman. But we should go around and open doors for them, shouldn't we? Yes, we should. We should treat them like a superior in the fucking human race. Why is that? It's freaking amazing, isn't it? I freaking realize this fucking shit. As I'm sitting here, I got away from all people's fucked up idea of life. The Bible's circulating, all the years of psychological studies are starting to set into my mind, and I realize I live in a world of psychopaths. People talk on stage like they know what the fuck they're talking about. And then you're there, you're desperate, you're seeking answers. You don't understand because it doesn't apply in real life. Their teachings don't fucking apply in real life. And then there have people of professional freaking stature who already have jobs that are better than what the hell I get paid. And guess what? They're praying and sensing as to whether or not they should leave their businesses or their practice and maybe go minister to the poor in other countries where, in my opinion, the fucking leadership fucking sucks. Meanwhile, the other people in the church are raising finances. Let's help everybody by raising fucking finances. And meanwhile, everybody in the congregation's looking at each other. I can't even fucking afford to take care of myself. While Joyce Myers and people like that are screaming, get your mind off yourself. Do something for somebody else for once. Is that it? This person should have never ended up living by a goddamn dumpster. And no cop should have walked into the room and put money in my fucking goddamn hand and called me guilty along with 20 or 30 other fucking people in the same fucking county that day. 30 people? Something's not right here. How about the fucking United States government is fucking goddamn corrupted? Clean up your fucking streets. You say there's no work here? It's a pigsty. What kind of governance doesn't have a fucking plan together so that fucking goddamn people understand peaceful ways of living. Don't you know that the real fucking prostitutes of the world are the ones who are putting price tags on everything and telling people the only way you can have it is if you go get a goddamn job and then fucking goddamn pay for it on a credit card or fucking bank loan? Oh, this here is the last heel. Got from Susie Jets. I had sneakers. All right. Now I'm going to move on down the line. I have a few more things that I want to talk about. And I sort of apologize because I got sidetracked. That's the only reason I apologize. This video is not about my acknowledgement of how much of an asshole my fellow mankind is, okay? The reality of it is, I have been being tortured. There's not one person that has consulted me, talked to me, has called me, has stopped by to reach out to contact me, to even just say, I'm sorry you're being tortured. That's how pathetic Americans are. I've been complaining my whole life that I think there's a chip in my head. I had an x-ray down here at the Good Samaritan Hospital. Isn't there anymore, is it? And I told the guy that I think I have a chip in here and I want an MRI. Because if there's a chip in there, whoever the fuck the president is today, I want it fucking removed from my fucking skull. And I want it done while I'm awake. And I want it fucking goddamn done while I'm being supervised by people I feel I can trust. And if it's not a fucking goddamn chip, then you should fucking be explaining to people what the hell is connected to our brains. Christmas cards. I still have this from Walmart when I worked there. Hey, that's when I was Joyce Myers, Joel Osteen, be positive kind of shit. I listen to my music all the time and watch my videos and stuff and look at pictures and I go about my life and I chuckle about the fact that I worked a cash register for fucking over a year. It's ridiculous. Especially considering, as I shared before, the fact that I could have just easily made what I made that month in less than a fucking goddamn fraction of a day. In some cases, 15 minutes. That's how fucking pathetic America is. Who is the one that lassos the economy world? Anybody? I'd like to talk to that son of a bitch. I think they need to fucking goddamn brush up on their fucking hooking. I'm sure many people have said that throughout life, right? We all have our sin, don't we? We all have our traits that are very attractive, don't we? Check this out. I just tore this off an envelope. This was sent to me by my family, a sibling's family, household. Okay. That's not how you spell my name. It's Tracilyn, not Tracylyn. Instead of the Y, it's an I. And I realized that there's some people that were in my life out here in Ohio, for instance, that would let you know, just like Joyce Myers, stop correcting people. And as difficult as it is, when I wanted to transition, without going into details, and God gave me a new name, I don't want to, at this time, go into the details as to how much thought, how much love, how much reasoning was made by choosing and selecting that spelling of my name. Not right now. As I go through life, and people would call me Tracy, I'd say, no, Tracilyn. See, I'm friendly about it. You call me, hey Tracy. No, say Tracilyn. Okay? You know you gotta talk to people like little children sometimes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We gotta talk to you just like a little tiny baby in a playpen. I paid attention to people that I admired as I went through life, and it does not necessarily mean on TV all the time. I paid attention. And if you're really into self-help, like I was into self-help because I felt like I really have some psychological challenges. I mean, I don't want to sound cruel, okay? I hope this doesn't, but I was very close to riding one of the little yellow buses to elementary school. And a large portion of that is My brain does not function, in my opinion, like others. When I stand around other people, a lot of times I don't find people interesting when they're talking. Because it's the same conversation that I hear when I listen to other people talking. Nothing new is being said. Especially if you need to take care of yourself somehow. How? What are ways? I don't know, that's your problem. Then why the fuck am I talking to you? Because you have no other choice. Because there's nothing else for you to do. Because the world is fucking dull as shit to live in. Unless you have money. God lets me know, but if you come into the Word of God, it'll become a lot more exciting. Because then you'll find out you don't need money. You need balls. That's why I donated mine to Cleveland. I went through a lot in what Joyce Myers would say, correcting a lot of people with my name. If you ever see me, okay, call me Tracilyn. You can say, hey, good looking, hey, friendly person, hey there, rock and roller. You can call me different titles if you'd like. I appreciate if you're friendly. But how about Tracilyn? Skip the Tracy part. When you get into the self-help stuff, one of the things that a lot of people will let you know, even in businesses, management, supervision positions, if you're in tune with who you're speaking to and the name they like to be called by, how they like to be addressed, then you'd be good to call them that. Okay, it's a little tip. Now, I go through life, a lot of times I'm on the phone, my Obama phone. In my lifetime, will I ever own a quality anything at all? Because if not, there's no reason for me to bow down and respect the rest of the fucking goddamn United States of America. Taking care of one person shouldn't be that fucking goddamn hard. God shows me all the time that I would have been a great investment for a whole lot of people that claim there's money to be made in entertainment. Is there? I don't know. Maybe. Let's go see the same people play over and over and over again, and then we can go drive by their houses and get pictures and videos. Look, this is where this celebrity lives. I'm such a fucking dork. Okay? I could never have a house like that. Why is that? Because I can't get along with the fucking human race. One of the more frustrating things is my name was picked from two people that I really, really, really appreciated in my life. A great deal. I got a baby book at Walmart in Lebanon. I prayed about it. I thought about it for a while. I didn't want the spelling like either of them. And I've seen it, and I knew I had to have it. That's my name. For the rest of my life. Here on this earth. Maybe beyond. And the meaning of that name is powerful. That's what God told me. As long as I keep God number one. Again, we go back to the same stories. Do you think the military appreciated Moses? I guess it depends on who you are for, who God is for, don't you? Not everybody. We're taught that as we go through life to pretty much totally deny that which is right. Denying yourself in the beginning and humbling yourself to come before God, a great and mighty, powerful God, is one thing. But to hold a person in condemnation to maintain being weak is fucking asinine. Most people, say it, Joyce, are distant from God. Distant from perfection, distant from holiness. They're distant from being a heavenly presence. Now, other people may have it in their brain and strive. I'm not the example, don't even say that. But I may be striving, and God will let me know the whole time, and that's why it's tormenting me. Now, I know damn well that I should have never been poor. I was born poor. I was poor for a long time. I shared my whole life story. I was poor. God let me know if you just simply don't want to be poor no more, that should be good enough to get you going. If we get into the Word of God and we remind ourselves, we realize, why would a Christian at all submit to any of worldly government? At all, for any reason. Why would they pass laws and then chase me down? Why wouldn't God's people kick that fucking law officer's ass? You don't touch that child. That's a child of God. You leave that person alone. They can do what they want to do. They don't like when you say that because then that means do anything. No. I think if you're serving God, you're putting God first place, but you're not putting man's idea first place. When you need something, you need it. When those fucking people need food, they walk into a store, they fucking eat. Joyce, they eat because they're fucking hungry, you fucking selfish pigs. I bet you go home and fucking eat, fat ass. I bet a lot of you fat asses in the Christian community go home and eat. I go down and I wait at the fucking food pantry line, or I make my phone calls for a reservation. Can I get in there? I go down to food pantries. I can't even select my food because the government has become such a fucking asshole with the fucking mask, huh? You fucking had somebody like me put a mask on my goddamn face. You know why? God wanted me to see how long it takes to get to someone like you that is not lost with fucking commercial TV and radio and political fucking newspapers and shit. Do you understand? It takes a lot longer to get a message to me, and God let me know why the fuck don't they call you or send you a letter or send you an email contacting you so that you are informed that you have to wear a fucking mask. They want to fucking govern you. Then they have to respect you. Every law that is ever fucking made in this country has to be cleared by you, or they can't fucking apply it to you. God let me know. Listen to me. Don't get pissed at me. God told me, my brain. Look at those people. Those are the son of a bitches that are making life miserable for you. They gave me a fucking goddamn speeding ticket. Me, I'm on Social Security. Why didn't they just take it out of the fucking government's fucking goddamn bank? I got a lot to say about that. It's nice to see you're fixing your roads, you fucking pieces of shit. You owe me a brand new car. I have shit to do, man. When I'm recording and I gotta get into my psych, I can't be arguing with a jackass that's making my life miserable. You want me to respect an officer when officers were humiliating me during my times of fucking being homeless. Go listen to my life story, you'll hear it. They laughed at me, they put money in my hand and called me fucking guilty. They pulled me over, humiliated me, invited other officers up to me to fucking humiliate me. Why do they have a fucking job and I don't? Why aren't they homeless? Do you know what God left me know? One of these days they're gonna get a call and they may reconsider about how they're abusive to other people. In other words, God will make right somehow, some way. They're in your brain. They're with you your whole life. For me, many of them, evidently. Many different personalities, all talking through me sometimes at once, having a conversation with each other. Your local psychologists that were licensed from your freaking goddamn public schools and shit, your colleges, the ones the government clears as being okay. You gotta have these requirements in order to receive your license that you can function as a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They're leaving one thing out when you're hearing voices in your head when you're laying down in the emergency room and you're telling the doctor, I think I'm going psychopath. I got voices going on in my head, doctor. I see. Well, we're gonna have to have you analyzed, evaluated, and we're gonna have to consult with you to figure out what is exactly going on. Why don't you just tell me your brain is like a receiver and you are being tortured? And why don't you give me a reason why I'm being tortured? I talked to officers downtown nicely and I mentioned about it. And they left me know that they never heard anything like that and it's out of their league. I'd have to go and talk to maybe the Air Force. Why should I go and talk to anybody any further? That already tells me enough. If your officers aren't knowledgeable to understand that bodies can be overthrown, and if you've seen how lopsided our country was, there's a whole shitload of land all over the place. Why do we all live piled up on top of each other when we don't get along with each other anyway? Well, we gotta learn. No, you don't, Joyce Myers. Why would you even bother getting along with people if they ain't putting God number one? Well, how do you know that? Listen to them talk. Is there any common interest whatsoever? Well, find out what they're interested in. TV, beer, drugs, sex, okay? Just hanging out. Let's go watch some sports, okay? Let's go fucking on YouTube and freaking talk about how we pass by all these celebrity fucking homes. I have other matters to tend to. Do you know that? I don't care what they have. I care about what I have. Don't cross your arms, Joyce Myers, at me. I don't care what other people have. I care about what I have. I cared about my dog. I prayed for my dog. I took care of my dog. I fed my dog. I bathed it. I picked shit out of his fucking ass. Do you get it? I'm not gonna go around and do that for every dog in the world. And by the way, if you want to help pets so bad, this is somebody who took very good care. If you don't believe me, go ask his doctor, who told me that Riggs would only live to be about 7 or 8, and he ended up living to be at least 10 and a half, and then I lost everything because I didn't understand other ways to take care of myself. And a gruesome probably occurred because whatever is assigned to my brain probably fucking ate him. Because whatever it is satanic. But hey, heavenly people won't talk about that, will they? I got another one. This is during my recording season. I set it over here. I set it over here, and eventually I wanted to touch base with that. My exact words were, if whoever made this up is sending this to how many households who are pinching pennies? Because God told me a long time ago, do you know what? It's amazing how they'll press those out and then they'll raise the expenses on getting your yearly, annual tag for your car again. Here we go with another sticker. And you know what God told me? If I'm really on any kind of government assistance and they're my government, why wouldn't they just give me a license plate and fucking be done with it? Why do I gotta pay for it? Okay, they're already paying me. The same thing with post office. Why would I do that? All government services, especially, should be fucking free to the people who are getting fucking assistance from them. It's bad enough they chintz down on every freaking goddamn measure you can find. I mean, they even tell you that right to my face. The same son of a bitches that told me to take my nose ring out, take my earrings out, to wash the makeup off. That was at a time that I was scared shitless because I didn't understand why somebody wouldn't please love me. Stop treating me like shit. Everybody I meet, I'm getting sick of this. Let me tell you, those homeless people didn't do it to their fucking selves. You Americans are a bunch of snooty fucking assholes. That's the way you are. You're fucking snooty. Okay. Help your animals. Why don't you help your fucking humans? I'm gonna give you some really good advice for all you people who have animals. Be mindful that you don't just let them eat anything. Be considerate, as you should with yourself. Be mindful of what you put in your mouth and you chew, and you digest. Be mindful of what you're drinking. Be mindful of what they're drinking. Do you know that when I had Riggs, God showed me what other people feed their animals, dogs specifically? I would never feed Riggs, but on very, 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 very rare occasions. In other words, I didn't want to. I prayed about it. I talked to his doctor about it. I was strict with him in his diet. Oh, he didn't starve. I guarantee you that. I would not do that to him. But most people, if my dog was to stand up on this table, he had muscle, his stance, his appearance. He could have been a show dog. He could have been. There's things going on with him. Unfortunately, probably wouldn't win shows like some other dogs because of some of his defects. However, not because of his health, not because of his beautiful fur, not because of fucking his diet, not because of his abilities, his talent, his friendliness. Most people, when I seen their dogs are as out of shape as they are, and it's because they believe loving their dog means their dog can eat anything that they want to eat. They eat with me. Let's sit down and let's just eat like a bunch of pigs. And I was different. I consulted, I talked to people who were into purebred dogs. I talked to the doctors. I talked to groomers who were very particular. And by the way, when I would talk to these people, usually they were similar like that with themselves, for the most part. And God left me know, as I am with my dog, that's how I should be with me. Because God's ministering to me. You care about that dog. You're going to groom it, you're going to keep it safe, you're going to diet it, you're going to have plenty of exercise. I didn't just chain my dog up to a frickin' doghouse like I've seen many people do. I didn't just put him in a cage and frickin' let him there. Okay, that's how you help these dogs. That's how you help these animals. How do we help humans? The one thing that I am sick of in my own life is people always showing me that everybody else needs help. I went through a lot of years, I need help, and guess what? We're fucking raised money. Look at this shit right here. That's how you fucking do it. That is how you fucking do it. God told me many times, these people are psychopaths. If they really meant what they said, then they would see you as a fucking investment. They would see another person as an investment rather than, well, that you're gonna have to figure out yourself. Well, you did it to yourself. Maybe you'll figure it out someday. I'll figure it out. And if I ever put on some of the greatest concerts in the world, like I believe I should be putting on the greatest concerts in the world, you have to pay for it. That's number one. Number two, I'm not giving my money to fucking nobody. Okay? Fuck you. I'm the one who worked day and night on my fucking music from the time I fucking woke up and fucking went to sleep and took naps in between while I'm being electrocuted and have burn marks on my fucking arms and fucking all kinds of bullshit, standing in line at food pantries and shit. No, I'm not bitter about it. I'm not bitter at all. The one thing that I would say a Christian gets tired of, a Christ believer, is we're stuck in this coexisting world with psychopaths when we should be entering into a beautiful, wholesome way of living. Poor no more. Okay, the world has each other, no matter how you look at it. Where are God's people at? How many people in the music industry are from fucking Australia? How many of them are from fucking Canada? And then you're all excited. Wow, look who's here in America, fucking goddamn playing and fucking being a whore themselves. Hold on a minute, I live right down the road. Why don't somebody work with me? We can work together, we're better than this shit. I was very grateful to see that they are doing wonderful things here with the bike pass. I love to ride the bike pass. And parks. I did a lot of my music videos at parks. I don't remember what this was necessarily for, but I had a reason that I wanted to bring this up. That I held it for a long time, but I would have to say that a lot of my therapy has been riding my bike behind the fan and going for long bike rides whenever I get the chance to do it. Another thing that I have here, my trademark name. I trademarked my name when I came here because I was self-employed before as a singer, songwriter, entertainer. And the truth of the matter is, if I were to be completely honest, I was pretty much fed up with doing things exactly the same way, and I wanted to expand. And when you're reading the Bible, the truth is revealed to you, okay? And the truth is, I don't want to keep living in poverty for my whole life if I'm not going to be able to do musical endeavors in a manner that says I'm at least a millionaire. I'm not interested, and that pisses people off when you say that. I don't know what the rest of you fucking weak schmucks have done. I said what I said. If I'm not going to be a multi-millionaire, it ain't worth it. Let me tell you something. I know somebody who pointed brick for a living. Do you know what that means? That means where these joints are, they would grind them out. Not the whole way in most situations. A little bit. I forget exactly how deep it is. It's very little. A blade you put in there. Okay, so you're not cutting it out completely. You're just taking off kind of like the surface. I don't want to say a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, a little bit deeper than that. I don't know. Okay, right now because I'm not doing it. But here's the thing. You use this blade. And then you make mud, and you have these little guns that you can actually put it back in. And then you have your slick tool, and away you go. Millionaire. There's no fucking way in hell I'm playing in front of fucking an arena fucking full of people on a regular basis and being poor. I won't fucking do it. If other people do it, I would say they're jackasses, no different than I would say people who played fucking venues that I used to play at who played for fucking beer, assholes. The reality of it is, for the people who play for money, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to have a salary to work with when you are pretty much in a fucked up world where they care more about worldly values that are not valuable to life. I don't need beer. I don't need their fucking gross food. What I need is a fucking income to work with so I can get busy on life. And if I can't do it in live entertainment for any reason, it doesn't matter why to me, I already did it, then I'd rather quit. For all you churches who fucking goddamn want fucking people to serve God for fucking free,
Fuck you. If you want people to serve for fucking free, then equip them. Not for your idea of shit. What the Bible says. Why don't you give that shit away? Do you know what God told me? All the times that I was baptized, confusion. That's like fucking the demons spitting in your face. You need paperwork. The government needs paperwork, the world government, so it's understood. You are property of God's, not fucking goddamn worldly government. In other words, you have something much higher to be held accountable for while you're here on earth. And they ain't gonna like it. Why would they? Because then you're gonna fucking get a sports car someday, and you're gonna fire up your fucking tires in front of a fucking police station, and you're gonna flip them the bird and tell them to go fuck themselves. They might not like that, but something that talks to my head chuckles once in a while. Because I say, if you can't do that for me, then you're not really God in my life. Because that's nothing compared to what should be. All the times I was treated like fucking shit by police officers. Even when a police officer told me to dump my beer outside of my muscle car one time. I did it. I want my beer money back. Who the fuck are you to knock on my window and tell me to dump out the beer? You don't get it. I told you in my life story, God drove me home already. When I knew I was weak and I couldn't stay where I was, it was dangerous. Dangerous for my life. Do you care, officer? God, please drive me home. I promise you I'm not going to do this again, not there. But I don't meet people with stories like that. And I find it hard to believe myself, because how could that be true? Nobody else is talking about this shit. My name, you trademark like your name, because you use it a lot. I did. So you have a name, and that's what I'm going to go by. Personally, I have to be quite honest. If you get down to it, I don't care like you wish I did. But my honest opinion is, let that be the name that reigns, period. For the person, me, when I was self-employed. Don't be confused with another. There's one. That's who I was. When I started doing adult entertainment and stuff like that, it was a lot different. It was something like a hold me over position, and my prayers and hope that someday a door will open up and God will, lead me into places much higher. While I'm having the shit kicked out of me in many ways mentally. So then I get here, I don't understand, how in the hell am I going to be able to take care of myself? I can't get, there's no work anywhere, there's more than just me, there's a lot of people who are homeless, people without works, everybody's screaming they're not making enough money. And God lets me know the only way that I knew how to stay alive? America, thank you. Not by acts of kindness by my fellow mankind. Entertainment. Oh, great. And guess what I know about entertainment? Anytime it comes to your personal advancement, especially in the salary department, it's always down talking. And they always act like they can use anybody. We can use anybody. We can have anybody play here. And it's a fucking joke. People with fucking mega churches, they do the same thing. God can use anyone. God can use anyone for God's purpose. You, on the other hand, are a jackass for saying that. Intelligence knows that there's only one Tracilyn, there's only one this person, there's only one over here. God calls you by name, not whatever it feels like calling you that day. Because that's what happens when people call me Tracy, and then I say something nice like, no, Tracilyn. Connect with the human race for serious matters, good luck. Especially when it gets into life. That's what God showed me. Why didn't fucking goddamn any of the fucking church fucking goddamn goers lead me to fucking Christian publishers, Christian fucking goddamn radio stations, Christian fucking producers, Christian fucking musicians? There's something connected to my brain been asking me, why do you think that is? Where are they? Nashville, where's all your Christian fucking people at in the music industry? You helping each other? God told me when I was down there, tell them, when you talk to people, tell them that God sent you down. The results of what happened to me when I was down there is one thing. The aftermath is another. Tennessee is a volunteer state. God let me know there's no time to volunteer in a world that you got to pay for everything, in a world that has a price tag on everything. Why don't the fucking government of fucking Tennessee volunteer to take care of the fucking people? Why don't you take care of our fucking gasoline for our transportation so we can get to and fro wherever we're going? Why don't the government volunteer to get fucking goddamn cars as gifts to people who need them? Why don't you do that? Instead of fucking always asking everybody else to fucking volunteer, why don't the government volunteer for their fucking positions and do it for fucking free? Why don't you show us a way? How do we volunteer, sir? I'd like to go in there and pass a few laws. You can't post a fucking sign like that if you ain't gonna be a better example of somebody who fucking volunteers. Show us how it's done, Tennessee. That's what they should have a campaign. We're gonna show America how it's done. We're all gonna volunteer. The whole state is volunteer. Everything's free now. I had to let it cancel because I can't afford it. My trademark name. I put time into that. I'm on Social Security. This is a government fucking office. God left me know. No government office is going to protect you like God will. Okay? Or the name, or anything else. So with that being said, I'm not upset about it, just so you know. I'm not upset because I realized once I started getting tortured and shit, because I understood in 2010 when I wrote Could Have It All, let's take a long cruise in a ragtop Cadillac. That's a major hit song. God left me know that I should have been signed to a major something, at least to get things going. God left me know when I was here I should have already had the best of everything to record my music. My brain did. My brain told me. I'm not making this shit up. But see, I've been going through this my whole life. It's coming from my brain. It's not coming from anywhere else. And people act like I'm the one being a smartass, but I'm not being a smartass. I'm just responding to what's in my head. Now everybody say you're sorry. I expect an apology because I'm all, if I were to put radio frequency, radio waves into your freaking brain and turn things up and start talking to your freaking head, you would have no other choice but to respond somehow. Now, I've been told that they're Satanist. Are they Satanist? It seems like it to me. That's not what I call God. What is the point of sending the payment if you're going to be being tortured and shit? That already lets you know, especially when you get into all the details of how miserable it would be to be in any business in this country. Everything is a penalty. They bring up to me and they harass me. For the people who are on TV on a regular basis, I reply to God from familiarity. They remind me of lot lizards. Do you know what a lot lizard is? That is what the world perceives as a lowly prostitute who knocks on drivers' doors. Okay? They'll give you a quickie for a few dollars. And I told God I'm not like that. I don't want to fucking be on TV talking about retarded shit that doesn't fucking matter. If I'm going to say something, then it's going to be something that fucking matters, to me at least.